Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Michael,
And we're going to be doing live animals with you.
here at Bethel Horizons.
Here we got the common garter snake, otherwise known as Thamnosus sertalis. There are 5 species of garter snake native to Wisconsin. These ones typically dwell around where human shelters have been built. They like warm weather, eating earthworms, and digging through the soil. You can see he's got little stripes on his back here. He's still pretty skittish. We don't really like taking him out much, but sometimes he comes out a little bit more. And I use that tongue. He sticks his tongue out, not to say hello, but to sense the surrounding air and the molecules in the air. Here we got the blue-spotted salamanders, Ambystoma latero. They're the northernmost nesting salamander. They're also the smallest salamander native to Wisconsin. They're mole salamanders, so they like to burrow in the dirt. They use their shovel-shaped snout to kind of dig little bitty holes. I'll lift this bark up here. One of them, they've got separate corners of the tank, as you can see here, but they will snuggle together occasionally. The one in the corner here is still a juvenile. And all salamanders can secrete poisons out of their tail. Now, the other day, he was wiggling his tail. He had his head buried in the dirt, and his tail was kind of wiggling like a little worm, and it had this milky, sticky white secretion. And so I decided to pinch it, and he jumped around and had his face. He did a 180 on me, and this stuff wouldn't come off my fingers for about 4 hours. Yeah.
All right, so this is an American toad, also known as Anaxyrus americanus. This is an amphibian species, the most common species of toad in North America. Now these guys will start out as tadpoles, and then after about 50 or 60 days, they'll undergo a metamorphosis to turn into these toads. As you can see, it's kind of bloated right now. That's a defense mechanism against predators, mainly snakes, so that when they are approached by them, they puff up, so it makes it a lot harder for them to be eaten. Commonly, though, they'll be eaten by snakes called hognose snakes, which have teeth specifically designed for eating these guys. Now, if you see these little gland-like features on the back of the toad, what a common myth is that these are warts, and people will think, oh, if I touch this toad, I'll get warts. This is actually completely false. These are actually poison glands that secrete a milky substance that helps them avoid getting eaten, because if something gets in its mouth and tries to eat the toad, it'll get that substance in its mouth and it'll taste really bitter and nasty, and it'll spit the toad out, and so it helps the toad survive.
Here we got one of Wisconsin's lizard species. It's a skink. As you can see, they got these short little stubby legs and these long little claws. Their scales are really smooth that help them to burrow underneath through the ground and make their little skink tunnels. And they're really adorable. They're cute little lizards. You can find these out in Spring Green. It's in southwestern Wisconsin around here. And they're pretty easy to handle. In fact, lots of people have skinks as pets, mostly the big blue-tongued skinks, and they're pretty docile and good lizards to keep as pets.
Now, we do want to take a quick detour just to observe, of course, the snapping turtle. It has been named Tony promptly. That is spelled Ptoughneigh. Tony. How nice.
Here we got the tree frogs. We have 2 species of tree frog native to Wisconsin. These are the Hyla versicolor, or the gray tree frog, also known as Cope's gray tree frog. They come out in late July, early August. They like to eat katydids especially, but they will eat crickets and other grasshoppers and orthopterans that come their way. They have two techniques when they're hunting. They'll either pounce on their prey and leap from across the area where they are to pounce on the prey, or they have a projectile-like tongue that folds out of their mouth, and it has a sticky secretion on the end that they can use to draw the prey back up into their mouth. You can see this guy's got a mouthful of dirt right there, because he's got some on his foot, maybe an inch, who knows. So that was live animals here at Bethel Horizons. Thanks for joining us today. Next week we'll come back with some new crazy fun adventure for you to partake with us on, and until then, stay classy.